I collected a few things to that many of us are doing wrong in AutoCAD. And also, I'm gonna give some techniques to show you a better way of doing it. All right. Okay. So we are doing before we start with the things that we're doing wrong. We are gonna see if people are connected so we can read some comments or not with your questions, right? Because this is a live streaming that I'm doing to Facebook as well as YouTube, and I believe Twitter also. So let me know in the comments if you I don't know, let me know something about you. Where are you seeing us from? If you are new, introduce yourself if you want, or let me know what are your challenges in AutoCAD, so I might do a future video or live streaming, maybe, right? All right, so if there are no questions, let's go straight to the video. All right, let me share my screen over here really quick. I'll be reading your comments by the end of this video also, or live stream. All right, so let's start with the first thing that I believe many of us were doing wrong or are doing wrong in AutoCAD, which is exploding blocks. Yes, basically I have this example over here, and I have this door block, right? But I need a double door on this storefront. And what many people do wrong is, since of course you cannot just mirror this door over here, right? Because of this small trim or hinge. So what many people will do is explode this block, all right? Exploding that block, and then they will fix their block, erase it, and then of course mirror it, and so on. But there is a this is the wrong way to do it, because first of all, your layers will be messed up, as well as if you do that. And most of the time, especially in an office, many people are working in the same drawing. So let's say you save your drawing and you have doors over here that are blocks, and this is exploded. So let's say your coworker wants to change this block. Let's say you want to make it a 45-degree angle or something. This won't update because it is exploded already. So that's something wrong that people are doing. And let me show you now a better way of doing it. All right. So let me undo that using the Control C on my keyboard. And right now it's a block. So a better way of doing this is simply using the xclip command. So this basically what it does is it's gonna hide a portion of your block, so you don't have to explode it and then give headaches and issues to your coworkers or even your boss, right? So once you do that, xclip, you'll have many options over here. And for this specific example, what we need is the generate new boundary. So click, and then we're gonna pick polygonal, because we're gonna need this option. So once you click that, then we can go and click here, over here, here, and then get closer over here, and then finally I can press enter. So once you do that, you can see that you hide one portion of your door block, and it's still a door. As you can see, nothing changed. You still have the same doors that are over here. So at this point, I can mirror this block as I need it using the mirror command, like so. Now, finally, you can hide these weird lines for the X clip using the X clip frame option. So like that, X clip frame, press enter, and then if you set it to 0 and press enter, you will have your double door, which are still blocks, right? But you didn't explode it, and this is a much better way to do uh, things without giving headaches to anybody, basically. All right. So that's the first thing that you might be doing wrong in AutoCAD. And let's go with the next one. All right. So the next one is losing work when undo. So basically, this is a thing that again you might be doing wrong, because if we go to this, okay, we're gonna use the same drawing, and let's say you are working on your drawing, and then for by accident you erased something in your drawing, right? Let's say I erased this column over here, and then I keep drawing, I keep working and just drawing more over here, like you keep working without noticing that you erased something by accident, right? So you draw a lot of things, you spend it maybe 30-40 minutes working on something, and then you realize that you copy something here, who knows, this is just for the purpose of showing you that losing work when you undo, it's something that you are doing wrong. So now you realize, oops, my column is gone. So of course, this might be something more complex than a column. A column, you can redraw it, but let's say there was something complex that you erased by accident. Now, if you're probably gonna have to undo, right? With Control C, undo, 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 until you lose, right? If you undo, 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 you're gonna lose everything till you see your column show up again. You will lose all of your progress. But you don't want to do that. Let me show you a better way of doing it, right? So a better way of doing it is without losing your work, of course, and bring back whatever you erased by accident, is this. So let's select everything, your whole drawing, and let's use the shortcut Control Shift and C. Oops. Or let's use the shortcut Control and C as you regular would use for copy, right? Control C. So once you do that, you are now safe to undo. So if I do Control Z, Z, I'm gonna lose this, but don't worry. Control Z, Z. I'm gonna do one more time, Control Z. I'll lose this other work. Control Z, Z. And here is my column, right? So that's my column, but I lost my work. So basically at this point, you can select everything again and erase it, because since you used the Control C before undoing, now you can use the Control V as Victor, and you can see, oops, let me, so I'm gonna select everything but the column, right? So once you erase that, you can do Control V, and you will have your progress over here and your column or whatever you erased. So at this point, you can simply place it in the location that you need it, right? But you will have your work as well as well of whatever you erased by accident, and you won't have to lose any work, right? Okay, so let's go with the next thing that you might doing wrong in AutoCAD. So the next one is gonna be trimming and extending objects. So basically, um, what you might be doing wrong is, let's say I have this example and I need to extend these storefront lines over here. So you might be using the extend command, right? As you regularly will use. And then you'll start extending these lines over here. And then you you finish the command and then, okay, I need to trim now. So I'll start the trim command. And then I need to trim my lines over here and so on, right? But there is a shortcut or a shorter way to do this, and let me show you. So let's undo that, okay? And let's start the extend command again. So EX for extend, and then once you do that, start extending your objects. And at this point, you don't need to exit the extend command to change to trim command. Why? Because you could simply hold the shift key on your keyboard and it will change to the trim command. If you hold the shift, and you can start trimming your objects without canceling the extend and again starting the trim command. So if I hold, you need to hold the shift on your keyboard and you can start trimming. And again, if you can see on the command line, you are using the extend command, but you are also trimming at the same time. Isn't that great? So at this point, I can simply press escape and you'll be ready to go. So again, this will work even when you are trimming, and then you can switch to extend holding the shift on your keyboard, or vice versa, as we just did it with the extend command. All right, so let's move to the next thing that you might be doing wrong, and this would be moving objects instead of stretching. So let me go to this elevation again to show you this thing that you might be doing wrong. So I remember when I started in AutoCAD, I used to, let's say for instance here, I need to move this storefront 2 feet to the left over here. So, I used the move command, selected my objects, and then move my objects over here. Oops. Move my objects like that, 2 feet to the left. And then at this point, I'll have to fix my other storefront, right? I'll have to fix this, start extending this, and so on, and trimming, and blah, blah, blah. But that's the wrong way. You never had to do that. Instead, let me undo that and let me show you a better way of doing this. So let's go undo. All right. So instead, use the stretch command. So if you do S for a stretch, and simply, go here till here, you can stretch this 2 feet to the left, and you can see that you moved your storefront 2 feet to the left, and you don't have to fix anything around it. So that's something big that you might be doing wrong, especially when you start in AutoCAD. So again, try to change that mentality of moving objects, and let's see if you can stretch it instead. So, all right. So next, let's go now with the next thing that you might be doing wrong. So the next one is erasing Xref without detaching. Yes. So let me go over here, and so what you might be doing wrong here is, let's say I have this, oops, I was working on something for my thumbnails, but anyway, so this is an Xref, all right? If you can see over here is a raster image, or Xref also called. And many people, what they do is they simply, erase their Xref using the erase command, or simply using the delete key on the keyboard, right? So delete. But that's wrong, because you know why? It will cause problems in the future. Not only to you, but to your coworkers, because when you delete something, and especially an Xref, and if you go to the external reference, your Xref will still show over here on the external reference palette, even though you erase it from your drawing. So, and you will be collecting here missing Xrefs, which will cause problems and headaches in the future. So I'm telling you, because I experienced this. And so instead, let me show you the better way of doing it, right? You don't want to cause headaches to you in the future, neither to your coworkers or even boss. So whenever you want to erase an Xref from your drawing,
I didn't understand that.
oops. So instead of erasing it here, you have to open your Xref palette and erase it from here. So from here, you need to detach your Xref. So once you click detach, you can see that your Xref is gone. All right. So that's the right way to do this, to erase Xrefs. However, let me show you a quicker way. So for me, if I want to erase my Xref and hit the delete key on my keyboard, I have this reminder that says, hey, this is a Xref, would you like to detach this image? So, and of course, I will have to say yes. Would you like to detach the image? Yes. So now, once I go here, my Xref, it's also detached from my Xref palette, which is great. So the way that you can have this reminder is because I installed these raster tools over here. That's why it gives me this pop-up option or reminder. So if you want to have that, you can simply go to your Autodesk, um, to your Autodesk, sign in, and of course sign in over here. I'm not gonna sign in over here, but you got the idea, right? Or maybe I should sign in. So once you go here, you can find the raster options on product and services. So of course, this is if you have the regular version of Autocad. So as you can see over here, we have Autocad DWG. And if you go to products and updates, you will see this raster, AutoCAD raster image option. So you can download it, and then you'll have that option that I just show you. All right. So those were some of the wrong things that you are doing in AutoCAD. So again, this came from thanks to my supporters, either on Patreon or YouTube as YouTube members. And if there are no comments or questions, I will end up this live streaming. So see you next time.